Hello my loves and welcome back to what is probably going to be the final episode of Sonic 2 in Sonic Origins. We're going to be moving on to Sonic 3 very soon, my personal favourite of the game. Sonic 3 and Knuckles together make one complete game, and you'll see, it's so far ahead of anything that's come before. This is maybe, I don't know, depends on how we go here in the Metropolis Zone, by the way. Hang on, let me turn the music up, because it's really good. This is the equivalent of the Scrap Brain Zone. And by the way, I think I figured out the Supersonic thing. This level is a bastard. It's really tricky, but it's a lot of fun. There's a lot of instant death around here. We need to be very careful. And the badniks are actually really tricky. There's an instant death. If you get caught on that, you are fucked. And these things everywhere that explode and chuck spikes at you. Not nice. There's also a really weird infinite loop at the end of this level. I think it's at the end of this zone, actually. I mean, look at this. This is just malevolent, isn't it? It's cool. Don't get me wrong, but it's malevolent. Ha! Ha-ha! Supersonic! So now I'm invulnerable, and, yeah. That's basically it. I'm invulnerable, nothing can hurt me, and yeah. It's now a case of, like, running to the end of the zone, because oh, fuck. Well, that went well, didn't it? Thank you. Oh, by the way, your rings count down in this mode. Have you noticed that he flies, look? Supersonic can fly, which is really cool. It is literally Sonic going Super Saiyan. I mean, like, it's even the blonde hair and everything. It's bonkers. In Sonic 3, he can go hyper, in which instance he flashes all of the different colours of the Chaos Emeralds. It's really cool. And he's much more powerful as well. Even more powerful than Supersonic. I mean, that's pretty cool. Also, what I like about Supersonic is he actually has a different model. His hair is a bit different, his spines are a bit different, which is kind of cool. I always love the way in the Fleetway UK comics, the Sonic comic, they characterize Supersonic in a really weird way. He was basically the Hyde to Sonic's Jekyll. He was a lunatic. He was like a nihilistic madman with superpowers. He was like an apocalyptic level extinction event whenever he occurred. This is the infinite loop. It's so weird. He was very, very, very evil indeed. Right, I'll endeavour not to do it in the next stage because I like the music to Metropolis Zone, and the Supersonic theme is fine, but it's a bit repetitive. You know, it's not great. This is way better. I mean, my god, it's so good. Oh good, lava. This is bound to go well. But yeah, as I was saying, unlike the other zones in this game, this one has 3 acts. Very unusual. Look at that, that's an evil badnik placement there, that is. Look at these swines. They're impotent the minute they chuck their claws. They can't do anything after that. But those claws boomerang back on you. It's really unpleasant. Ooh. Oh god, the music to this zone is ace, isn't it? I mean, that again, it's something that will remain consistent in the Sonic games, even the crappy 3D ones. The music is always good. The music is always fantastic. Oh, that's what it's about. I was wondering what that platform was there for. It seemed oddly redundant. And yes, you can get hurt by the steam there. You need to be very careful. So good. No, don't want it. It'll ruin the music. Whoa! Whoa! Bloody hell. I mean, speedrunning this game is fun. And it is obviously it's very doable. It's kind of like the original speed-runnable game, really. Like the first zone, Emerald Hill Zone, I remember like in the 90s, there were these television shows in the UK, like Games Master and Games World, and they would actually feature the Emerald Hill Zone as challenges, like who could complete it in the fastest time. And you can complete the first act of Emerald Hill, you can complete in like 12 seconds. It's ridiculous how quickly you can finish that zone. Ah! I don't know what they're doing in the Metropolis Zone, but hey. Zoom zoom. It is like the Scrap Brain Zone, but it's better. It's just much more refined. It's much more elegant than the Scrap Brain Zone is, you know? There's not so much of that, oh, you fall, you die stuff. Although there are some instant death pits here, a few. Not many, but there are a few. It is possible in some areas to fall off the stage, which is not nice. Ow. Ah, and that happens too. God, they really went all out for this game. Sega obviously realized just how successful Sonic was for them, and they just made sure that this game was like the best of everything from the previous game, and also got rid of some of the more annoying elements, you know? But for me, I mean, it's not the most popular opinion, but I think Sonic 3 and Sonic & Knuckles are way better. Way better. Most people prefer this game. That seems to be like the more popular opinion, certainly online. I just like what Sonic 3 did. I think the way it introduces narrative elements to the zones and whatnot, I think that's really cool. If you play Sonic 3 and Sonic & Knuckles back to back, there is a definite story arc. There is a definite narrative involving Knuckles, the way Robotnik tricks him, the Chaos Emeralds, the Master Emerald, the Death Egg, all this stuff. And it's really cool. And what's really interesting is we're going to have to play Sonic 3 and Knuckles twice, because the story with Knuckles is significantly different. Like, the game is significantly different with Knuckles than it is with Sonic. I can't get up there. Oh, shit. I want to see if I can reset that somehow. Fuck, I nearly killed myself then. That wouldn't have been clever, would it? So we'll do the Sonic story first, and then we'll do Knuckles' story, yeah? Well, fuck. That's gonna keep happening, isn't it? Is it gonna bounce again? No, it's not. Shit. Fuck, fuck, fuck. Okay. Yeah, it might be wise just to get that one ring, because we'll regret it if we don't. You just know it. Okay. Let's try and get it all the way to the top this time, yeah? Who knows, you might even make it without getting knocked off. Maybe. Whoa! I love all this stuff, the big gears and things. I think that's so cool. I mean, obviously, after this, because of the success primarily of this game, there'd be a glut of Sonic-like games. Sonic CD would come out, Chaotix for the 32X, which is not as successful, Sonic 3 and Sonic & Knuckles, but then they just stop. When the Saturn rolled around, they would just stop, and that was such an error on Sega's part, particularly in the West. I mean, Sonic and Sega were like Mario and Nintendo in the West. They were synonymous. You couldn't really divorce them, so to try and market... Ah, you bastard. Well, that was my fault, wasn't it? To try and market a Sega console in the West without a Sonic game at launch, that was insanity. It was never going to work. It was never going to sell as well as, for example, the N64, which had all of it, you know, its key games lined up and ready to go. You had, with that game, Mario 64, you know, a game which changed the landscape for platforming. And he's still held up today as like an icon of brilliant video game design. But sadly, Sonic wouldn't come back until the next generation of consoles on the Dreamcast, which is a real bloody shame. And even then, he wouldn't ever be as successful as Mario was in the transition to 3D. Not ever. In fact, Sonic Adventure is lame. Let's be honest. It's not very good. It's a bad game. On almost every level, it's a bad game. Okay, this is the boss. This one's quite tricky. It's an odd one, this. Robotnik has all of these balloons around him. Look, so strange. What I'm going to do, I'm going to hurt myself, then use my invincibility to get rid of them, because that makes it a lot easier. If you've got Tails, just use him, you know? Yeah, those are little Robotnik balloons. I don't get it either. It's a weird one, this. Let's be honest. It's a really weird one. Okay, now we should be able to hit him without getting hurt if we time it correctly. Oh well. Because he's only got a couple left, so there we are. He's going to start using that laser on the front of his craft as well very soon. Okay, watch him go. It's kind of cool, isn't it? I like that. There we go. Okay, we're in the end game now. 3 zones to go. All of which are really inventive and weird. They completely break the format. The next one is Sky Chase, where we're actually standing on the wings of Tails' plane, chasing Robotnik's big winged fortress. Here it is, Sky Chase Zone. Weird zone, right? Brilliant music, again. So peaceful. I mean, it's so good. And what a lovely way of breaking the format up, right? Towards the end of the game. Love the badniks here. The badniks are a lot of fun. Why they're flying tortoises, I don't know. They just are. And what's really fun about them is they can only fire once. I mean, how shit is that? Once they've fired, that's it. They can do nothing else. And don't worry, you can't fall. It's next to impossible. Tails is very trusty as a pilot. He will always catch you. I can never remember the name of the plane. The plane does have a name, I just can't remember what it is. I don't know, I just like the notion of Tails as a pilot. I mean, they would expand that out later on to make him like a mechanic and an engineer, which is kind of cool. There's the Wing Fortress, by the way. I tell you what, Robotnik enough got some resources on him for a supervillain, hasn't he? I mean, bloody hell. That's not even like his big Doomsday engine. The big Doomsday engine is the last stage, the Death Egg, which is in orbit. And yes, it's the Death Star, shaped like an egg. That's exactly what it is. Ah, fuck. But no, this is a nice restful zone, actually, especially before Wing Fortress, which is decidedly not. Wing Fortress is quite difficult. Because, of course, you can fall off of the Wing Fortress. There's a lot of instant death. There we are. In fact, it starts with an instant death trap. Watch. If you don't jump off there, you die. Some of the most amusing badniks here as well. Yeah. Those are robot chickens. Ah, now. Instant death if we fall? Yes. Oh, fuck. There you go. A demonstration. That's what that was. they've adapted this. The approach is a bit less long. In the original game, the approach to the Wing Fortress is a lot longer. Actually, we could go the top way, couldn't we? If we go up here, there we are. That's better. Much easier. Not, you know, still not easy per se, but easier. Look at this. I love the scale of this thing. It's bonkers. It should not fly, that's for sure. Aerodynamic, it is not. Right, I'm going to save the rings if I can, until the boss. Which is coming up. I think this stage was in Sonic Mania, wasn't it? Or was it No, Flying Battery was in Sonic... No, maybe it was. I don't know. Oh god, how are we going to get around you? Ah, fuck it, doesn't matter now. Well, hopefully I'll get my rings back before the end. Let's see, eh? Oh, maybe not. I'm going to keep flying around like that. I'm trying to remember what those badniks are called. It's probably something like Cluck or Chickenator or something like that. There are actually quite a few chicken badniks now that I think about it. Robotnik has a thing for chickens in the same way that it has a thing for eggs, you know? Whoa, that's fun. Again, what a lovely way of breaking up the general style of these games. It's really clever. Okay, wait for it to go in and wait for it to come out again, then go. If you go first thing there, the sequence goes too fast and you lose. You lose big style. Okay, fuck it. Woo! Okay. Just being very careful. I don't want to lose my rings now because we are very close to the end. Which means we probably will. Yeah, this is pretty much the end now. Okay, here we are. Right, so this is what Robotnik's got. Not that it matters, because it's not going to last very long. It's a remote control laser. But we're supersonic, so it's useless. I don't think it made that noise in the original game. That's from Sonic 3, because this boss is repeated in Sonic 3. Now if we go into the cockpit, hey! Okay, last stage, here we go! And we've got to get onto the, oh, what is it called? The plane. I'm going to have to look it up, I can't remember. Yeah. Have you noticed Tails has attached an extra little jet to the bottom of the plane so he can catch up with the spaceship? How cool is that? Yeah. That ain't gonna happen. I just love the fact that he's basically holding on to the outside of a spaceship while it's going into outer space. It's very silly. This is the Death Egg. First appearance of. Great music, but you only hear this music here. For this one hallway. And it's so good, right? Oh, look! It's Silver Sonic! Oh, fuck. Well, that went well, didn't it? I used to be able to do this in 12 seconds, this guy, when I was a kid. I think those days are long gone. Yeah, get a couple of hits in. Whoa, the timing is really weird here. Come on. Whoa, gotcha. What? Oh, okay. Let's see how many times we die against him and how many times we die against Robotnik. It'll probably be a lot. Yeah, it's gonna be a lot. Okay. And I may be wrong, but I'm fairly certain this is the first time there's a robot version of Sonic. What's he going to do? Is he going to jump? Yeah, he's going to jump, okay. There he goes! Silver Sonic, dead! And now we've got Robotnik, and this is really cool. This will become a staple later on. Yeah, Robotnik's got a big armored suit. This will become a staple of Robotnik fights as the games go on. Okay. Gotcha, you bastard. Okay. Wait for him to come down. Woo! Now we'll fire off his arms. Okay. Now, wait for him to come down again. Only this time, go like this, hit him on his nose. That's how you defeat him. Don't try to hit him while he's walking like that. You'll get pinned on his arms. You don't want that. And that's pretty much it. That's how you defeat him. Takes a while because I think he's got 12 hits in him, this guy. He can't hit you over here, so don't worry about it, you know? Up he goes again. He's got a very definite pattern. That's what's good about him. A very, very, very definite pattern. And as long as you know what it is, you're alright. It's a weird one for a Sonic game because you have to take your time. It's all about patience. Woo! You can, if you're feeling like brave, hit him there as well when he bends down. I wouldn't. Personally. Boom! Right on the schnoz. But yeah, there will be a big giant robot Robotnik at the end of every Sonic game for at least a few years after this. And they get bigger and more elaborate and nastier. This is basically the prototype, you know? But you do have to be careful. You do have to be careful here because, of course, you haven't got any rings, so one hit and you're done. I remember a lot of people had trouble with this guy. There were lots of, like, guides for killing him in magazines and things like that. Because it is quite unforgiving, you know, not giving you any rings at all. That's not nice. And also, because you haven't got any rings, you can't become supersonic. To do that, you need to do the debug mode, which is a bit mean, but... Look at the background, isn't it ace? Great music as well, right, for the final boss. He's nearly done now. A couple more hits and he's out. Boom! But yeah, the minute you know his pattern, that's it. He literally can't hurt you. He can't hit you. There we are. Done. And that's it. That's the end of the game. And the Death Egg falls from the sky and lands on the floating island. I remember this so well. Of course, no save feature back then. Not on these games. You just had to do it all in one go in one day. But of course, back then, we were like 8, 9, 10 years old and we had nothing better to do. I do very distinctly recall taking Sundays, you know, sometimes to complete this game through. With all the Chaos Emeralds and everything. It's bonkers now, but... And of course, because we got the Chaos Emeralds, we're supersonic. So we can fly. If you complete it without the Chaos Emeralds, Tails catches you. And the birds are a different color as well. They're colored like the flicky birds, which are these blue birds that are associated with Sonic. Yeah, that was great fun. Wonderful. Oh my, I'd forgotten about this. I wonder if we're going to get, for the, you know, a special animated Sonic Origins outro. I hope so. I always love the remixes at the end of the Sonic games. That's so cool. And Sonic 2 really deserves it because the music is universally so damn good. I'll be honest, I wouldn't mind. I mean, if as and when I pick up a Switch, doing the Mario games as well. Maybe not Mario, the original Super Mario Brothers, because it's a bit these days. It's historical, but it's not really my game, you know? But Super Mario World, certainly, and Super Mario Brothers 3, and Yoshi's Island. Oh god, that's an amazing game. Oh, Aquatic Ruin. Love it. Best soundtrack in the game. By a country mile. Although, Mystic Cave's also very good. You may not recognize that one. That is from... There was in the original Sonic 2 a special split-screen mode that enabled you to play two-player. And the levels had different music. This is Emerald Hill from that split-screen mode. Really weird, right? And that was a big innovation at the time, split-screen. I remember Sonic 2 really advertised that. You know, as though it was a massive thing. Very up-tempo casino night there. Very up-tempo. Kind of like it. But for music, really, the two that stand out are Sonic CD and Sonic 3 and Sonic & Knuckles. Just you wait. Just you wait. Oh, that's not in the original game. Onto the floating island, that's great! Ha 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 ha! And there's Knuckles, brilliant! That's not in the original game, because of course they had no conception then that the Death Egg even survived, right? At the end of Sonic 2 it kind of explodes, you know? It's slightly retconned in Sonic 3. That's brilliant! Oh, look at this! Yes! My favourite setting in the Sonic games, the floating island. Very mysterious. Nobody knows why it flies or how. Okay, there we go. That was Sonic 2, my loves. Bit of gaming history for you there. When next we come back, it's going to be Sonic 3 and Sonic & Knuckles.